Each year, millions of wild animals enter the harshest natural selection on the planet. There is no room for mistakes. There are no second chances. This is the Serengeti, where every step could be the last. From the enduring wildebeest to the resilient zebra, from the patient lion to the explosive leopard, all are pulled into an unending struggle for survival. Hunger, thirst, and the claws of predators allow no moment of rest. The Serengeti is not a place to admire. It is a battlefield where life is fought for inch by inch. Prey survive by ancestral memory. Predators endure through precision strikes. This is a life cycle without mercy, without compromise. Here, nature reveals the truth without disguise. The slow are torn apart. The strong continue the race, and you are about to witness it all. Beneath the blazing sky of the savannah, the battle for survival never pauses. Every step, every leap, every strike is tied to a life-or-death decision. This is where predators require more than power. They need strategy and timing. In this brutal landscape, each species possesses its own strengths and weaknesses, and that is what makes survival unpredictable. The leopard, a predator known for stealth, relies on patience. It does not charge recklessly. Instead, it follows its target silently, waiting for the perfect moment. Once the prey is brought down, it does not stay on the ground, where danger lingers. Its instinct guides it to drag the kill into a tree. A clear strategy to avoid theft by larger rivals like lions or hyenas. The leopard's advantage lies in agility and its ability to avoid direct confrontation. But this also means it must remain alert, never losing focus, even after a successful hunt. In contrast to the leopard's caution, the cheetah represents pure speed. Once it selects a target, it does not hesitate. Its sprint is a reflex of precision, closing distance in seconds. Speed is its irreplaceable advantage, making it one of the fastest predators on Earth. But the energy cost is high. The lion chooses a different path, one of power and coordination. It does not rely on speed or stealth. It succeeds through strategy. Lions do not chase at random. They know how to drive prey into narrow grass corridors, where escape routes are limited. A well-coordinated pride can isolate wildebeest or zebras, forcing the weaker individuals into traps. Not every chase ends in success. But with the right tactics, their chances are higher than solitary hunters. The lion's strength lies in teamwork, but this also demands tight coordination, something not always achieved. Farther off, beneath the murky waters of the Mara River, Nile crocodiles play the role of cold-blooded ambushers. They do not chase, they do not roar, they wait. Their unblinking eyes stay still, but they track every movement from the animals above. When wildebeest and zebras are forced to cross the river, chaos erupts. That is when crocodiles strike. A fast snap, a powerful pull. The prey is dragged underwater. Crocodiles do not rely on endurance or tactics. Their advantage is perfect timing and sudden force. But their weakness is clear. They depend on chance. If the herds do not cross, they must wait for days. In the chain of life on the savanna, no species is flawless. Each predator is shaped to maximize a single advantage, but must also bear a matching limitation. This balance is what allows nature to maintain a harsh but stable order. It is not the strongest who survives, but the one who seizes the right moment and accepts the limits that cannot be changed. The Serengeti, a vast savanna in East Africa, hosts one of the largest natural events on Earth. Herds of wildebeest, zebras, and Thompson's gazelles sweep across the plains like a moving river. Moving in massive numbers is the grazer's first advantage. Large groups confuse predators, targeting and provide momentum to keep the herd moving forward. However, dense formations also expose weaknesses. Diseases spread rapidly, grass is depleted, and chaos erupts whenever the herds struggle to cross the Mara River. As the migration shifts, the landscape transforms, from dry savanna to fertile wetlands. This opens up rich food sources, but it also forces the animals to adapt to new terrain at each stage. Wildebeest with strong shoulders endure long distances. Zebras with sharp senses detect threats early. Thompson's gazelles, light and compact, accelerate quickly to escape. Each species uses its own strengths, but all must share the same path and face the same risk of exhaustion. This movement triggers a chain of predation. Lions, using group strength, spread out across narrow grass corridors, cutting the herd into smaller, more manageable groups. Their power lies in coordinated attack, but success depends on precise timing. Meanwhile, cheetahs rely on explosive speed. Their rapid acceleration allows them to close distance faster than any predator, but their slender bodies leave them vulnerable, often losing their kill to hyenas or lions immediately after the chase. Spotted hyenas play the role of effective scavengers. Their powerful jaws and group behavior let them steal from cheetahs or tear through remains to reduce biomass waste. Their weakness is their wide foraging range. which forces constant movement and frequent territorial conflict with lions, their longtime rivals. In the Mara River, Nile crocodiles wait beneath muddy water. Their crushing bite and aquatic strength allow them to take down large prey. But success depends entirely on timing. If the herds do not cross, the crocodiles must wait days for another chance. The Serengeti ecosystem is not a single chain of dominance. It is a web of interdependence. Grazers spread grass seeds over distance, promoting plant regeneration. Predators control prey populations, preventing overgrowth. Scavengers, vultures, hyenas, and others clean the remains, reducing disease risk. The strength of the system lies in its diversity and the connection between roles. Its weakness appears when a single link declines, triggering a chain reaction. Migration, therefore, is not just a visual spectacle. It is a constant test of every survival strategy. Those that exploit their strengths and minimize weaknesses extend their chances. Those slow to adapt fall behind. This massive rhythm repeats each year, preserving balance in one of the planet's most resilient ecosystems. The central and western Serengeti is covered by open woodland stretching for thousands of square kilometers. Here, open grasslands alternate with tall acacia trees. This landscape shapes a nearly year-round stable ecosystem, separate from the migratory chaos of the eastern plains. The woodland's first advantage is food variety. Rainfall from November to May brings 30 to 40 inches of water, enough to support young grass and thick underbrush. This rich vegetation sustains year-round populations of giraffes, African buffalo, and elephants. Giraffes use their height to reach acacia canopies, avoiding ground-level competition. Buffalo rely on multi-chambered stomachs to digest coarse grasses. Elephants use their tusks and trunks to strip branches, opening food access for the entire herd. The diverse vegetation also attracts predators. Lions and leopards hide in low acacia shrubs, waiting for the right opportunity. Climate change is intensifying instability. Irregular rainfall compresses the wet season into heavy storms followed by long dry gaps. Young grass grows fast but withers early. Acacia bushes do not regenerate fully. Giraffes depend on green trees. Elephants strip bark to reach moisture, accelerating woodland degradation. Water shortages spread toward the Mara region, pushing buffalo and elephant herds to roam farther, increasing territorial clashes. The final stabilizing factor of the woodland is functional diversity. The Serengeti woodland presents multiple challenges: high temperatures, seasonal vegetation scarcity, and fluctuating water sources. In this environment, African elephants maintain stable populations by relying on their massive size and flexible movement strategies. Standing up to 13 feet tall and weighing as much as 6 tons, elephants can reach high branches, push over shrubs, and open new paths through the grassland. Their large bodies also protect them from most predators. Few species are willing to confront an adult elephant capable of defending itself. Their wide ears function as natural radiators. When midday temperatures exceed 104 degrees Fahrenheit, repeated ear flapping helps release heat through surface blood vessels. This allows elephants to stay active longer than smaller grazers. Combined with a versatile trunk, elephants can pick leaves, draw water, and spray dust to cool their skin. Together, these evolutionary traits provide a comprehensive adaptation toolkit for hot, dry environments. The primary food sources for elephants include acacia trees, tall grasses, and woody shrubs with thick bark. Each day, an adult elephant consumes approximately 300 pounds of leaves, branches, and bark. By breaking limbs and toppling trees, Elephants create light gaps in the forest canopy. These gaps promote new plant growth, increasing vegetation diversity and providing fresh feeding grounds for antelope and buffalo. Elephant dung is rich in fiber and seeds. It acts as natural fertilizer and spreads acacia seeds far beyond the herd's travel routes. However, their large size also comes with high energy demands. The need for constant food forces elephants to move continuously, especially during the dry season. Prolonged droughts deplete grasses early, pushing herds to wander farther in search of water. Long journeys wear down their toenails, reduce fat reserves, and increase the risk of conflict near human settlements. In addition, their slow reproduction rate. One calf every 5 years on average makes population recovery difficult if numbers decline sharply. During irregular rainy cycles, elephants use their trunks to dig holes along dry stream beds. Another disadvantage is their large water requirement, up to 40 gallons per day for each adult. When the Greti River dries out, elephants move toward the Mara River system, expanding their foraging range. Despite these challenges, African elephants remain a keystone species in the woodland nutrient cycle. They shape the forest canopy, disperse seeds, maintain habitat corridors, and redistribute organic matter through their waste. As they pass through the Mara region, their nutrient-rich dung promotes the growth of new grass after the first rains, restarting the energy cycle for the season ahead. Across the open plains of central Serengeti, African buffalo herds stand out with their massive bodies, dark coats, and thick, curved horns. Their large numbers, strong group structure, and muscular build make them key defenders of the grassland, helping maintain balance under predation pressure. Their most visible advantage is the fused horn base, forming a continuous bone shield across the forehead. Combined with an average body weight of around 1,500 pounds, this defense allows adult buffalo to repel lions or hyenas at close range. Thanks to this physical advantage, adult buffalo have a significantly lower predation rate than other herbivores of similar size. Buffalo herds often number in the hundreds. Dominant males lead the front. Females form the core. Calves stay at the center. This three-layer formation creates a moving barrier that deters predators from breaking through. However, calves remain the most vulnerable link. When the herd shifts direction suddenly, open flanks may form, giving lions a chance to split the group. During hot daytime hours, the herd retreats to sparse acacia shade to reduce water loss. In cooler periods, they move together toward wide grazing areas and feed in unison. Each adult consumes an average of 35 pounds of plant matter daily. Their heavy grazing quickly reduces grass height, exposing young shoots and forming a patchwork of old and new growth. The buffalo's greatest weakness is its water requirement. An adult drinks about 9 gallons per day. During peak dry season, herds must gather around the last water holes near the Greddy River or shallow wetlands. High animal density at a single location exposes their movement patterns, making it easier for lions to set up ambushes. Gathering at water holes also raises disease risks. Dense accumulation of dung and urine fosters parasite outbreaks. Ticks and black flies can transmit blood parasites from sick to healthy individuals. Adult buffalo have strong immune systems, but calves under 6 months weaken quickly. lowering survival rates during extended droughts. Buffalo rely heavily on large group size and clear visibility to defend themselves. When either is compromised by uneven terrain or grass taller than shoulder height, they lose the ability to protect one another. Isolated individuals become easy targets. At that point, two lionesses can immobilize the hind legs of a young buffalo, while a male grips its throat, finishing the hunt in under 50 seconds. Buffalo have a positive impact on the ecosystem, especially after the first seasonal rains. Their nitrogen-rich dung spreads across the grasslands, accelerating germination of new shoots. The fresh vegetation replenishes lost biomass, ensuring a continuous energy cycle between plants and small grazers. Climate change has extended Serengeti's dry season by an average of 2 weeks over the past 3 decades. Water and forage stress forces herds into a difficult decision. Remain in large groups, maintaining defense but increasing food demand and disease risk, or split into smaller units, reducing pressure on the land but increasing vulnerability to predation. There is no perfect solution. Every decision balances individual safety against the continuity of the ecosystem. Across the woodland savannas of the Serengeti, spotted hyenas exhibit a social structure and hunting strategy unmatched by most medium-sized carnivores. Their endurance, bone-crushing jaws, and coordinated behavior have allowed them to persist through extreme African climates. Spotted hyena clans can grow to as many as 80 individuals, with females maintaining dominance throughout the group. This matriarchal system enforces internal discipline, protects food sources, and enhances defensive coordination. When needed, the entire clan can rapidly mobilize to confront lions or other competitors. In active hunts, hyenas target prey within their weight class, such as wildebeest, zebras, or Thompson's gazelles. At close range, their jaws, delivering a bite force of about 1,100 psi, become fully effective. They crush leg bones, hip joints, and soft skulls, ensuring that all nutrients, both flesh and marrow, are consumed. Their digestive system efficiently processes collagen and minerals, turning hyenas into biological recyclers that return trace elements to the soil through waste. At the ecosystem level, the greatest strength of spotted hyenas is their role in capturing lost energy. They clean carcasses, limiting the spread of pathogens and parasites. They crush bones, releasing calcium and phosphorus back into the plant cycle. Their coordinated hunting also helps regulate herbivore populations. Spotted hyenas represent a balance of traits. Endurance, jaw strength, and social coordination give them a clear edge, but only when resources are sufficient and group stability is maintained. As climate change intensifies drought cycles, their adaptability will face new tests. The success or failure of the spotted hyena reflects the resilience of the entire Serengeti, a complex system that depends on the persistence of each species to maintain the flow of nutrients and energy. The Serengeti is home to approximately 3,000 East African lions, one of the highest lion population densities on the continent. The mix of open grasslands and scattered woodlands provides both clear sightlines and enough vegetation for cover. This combination of terrain supports a hunting strategy that blends ambush with short bursts of speed. Rather than long-distance chases, the first advantage lies in their physical form. Adult males weigh over 440 pounds and measure nearly 10 feet in length. Their thick manes cover the neck and shoulders, forming a natural bone-cushioned shield during fights. This massive frame helps absorb blows from wildebeest and increases takedown force at close range. Females are lighter and more agile, making them the primary attackers during coordinated hunts. Strong muscles and elongated tendons allow lions to reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, but only over distances of 20 to 30 meters. This range is just enough to strike before the prey can fully react. This burst strategy is most effective in woodland savannas. Tall grass reduces prey visibility, and scattered acacia trees limit escape routes, minimizing the need for sustained pursuit. These conditions allow lions to bring down large prey like zebras and antelope. Their large muscle mass provides strong bite force and broad forepaws, but it also increases energy demands. Lions succeed in only about 1 out of every 4 hunts. Even so, lions play an irreplaceable role in the food chain. They regulate populations of wildebeest and zebras. Preventing overgrazing of young grass layers. Their kills also attract hyenas and vultures, which clean the remains and help reduce disease outbreaks. In recent years, grasslands have shrunk due to farming and logging. Lions have lost traditional hunting corridors and are forced closer to livestock areas, leading to more human-wildlife conflict. This situation turns their physical strength into a liability. Each retaliation brings further loss of individuals, reducing the pride's ability to hold territory. The IUCN currently lists East African lions as vulnerable, a status driven by this downward spiral. Across the woodland savannas of the Serengeti, the East African cheetah holds a unique position as the fastest land predator. Its slender body, long legs, and flexible spine are the result of 3 million years of natural selection, perfected for explosive acceleration, not prolonged power. Its clearest advantage lies in speed. From a standstill, It can reach nearly 60 miles per hour in 3 seconds, quick enough to close the gap with a Thompson's gazelle before the prey can change direction. The cheetah's hunting strategy relies heavily on prey selection. It avoids adult wildebeest or large zebras. Instead targeting young, weak, or isolated individuals. This reduces the risk of injury from defensive kicks, while still providing the 6 to 9 pounds of meat needed per meal. Unlike lions, cheetahs have a looser social structure. Males often form groups of 3 to 5 to defend territory along open grasslands. Females live alone, raising cubs until they are around 18 months old. This separation lowers competition for food, but also means the mother must hunt and protect her cubs on her own, one of her most vulnerable periods. In the first year, cub mortality ranges from 50 to 70% due to predation by lions, hyenas, and large birds of prey. East African cheetahs carry a streamlined set of advantages: explosive speed, sharp maneuvering, and precise target selection. But in return, they face limits in endurance, low prey retention, and high juvenile mortality. In the Serengeti, they represent a specialist strategy, not built for dominance, but finely tuned for one objective: bringing down prey before others arrive. The long-term survival of this species depends on preserving open grasslands, the natural runways where the speed specialist can continue operating within the carefully balanced cycle of the ecosystem. In the dry, heated air above Londo grasslands, 2 vulture species serve as primary scavengers: the white-headed vulture and Ruppel's vulture. Their differing physiological traits allow them to exploit scattered carcasses and support nutrient cycling in grassland under grazing pressure. Advantages of the white-headed vulture. The white-headed vulture has a compact body and a wingspan of about 6'5" feet. Its dark brown and white plumage blends well against burned grass, making it hard to detect while gliding overhead. Its sharp eyesight can detect discolored tissue or unusual fur patterns on a carcass. Its talons and beak are relatively small but sharp. It quickly reaches the carcass and tears soft skin around the eyes, mouth, and abdomen, creating entry points for larger scavengers. Early arrival shortens the time a carcass remains exposed, reducing the chance for blowflies to lay eggs and limiting bacterial spread. Strengths of Ruppel's vulture. In contrast to the white-headed vulture, Ruppel's vulture is larger with a wingspan of around 5 feet, and excels at high-altitude flight. Its lungs contain multiple air sacs, which allow efficient oxygen exchange in thin air. Ruppel's vultures often arrive in organized groups. The lead bird tears open the abdomen. Others follow in sequence, removing large pieces. And consuming sinew and cartilage left behind by smaller species. Their strong neck muscles and hooked beaks allow them to extract tissue from even large bones. Thanks to coordinated feeding, they can strip a carcass of soft tissue in minutes, preventing the spread of foul odor. Threats and conservation strategies. The IUCN classifies Ruppel's vulture as endangered, and the white-headed vulture as near threatened. Key threats include poaching for belief-based practices, loss of nesting trees, collisions with wind turbines, and chemical poisoning. Three priority solutions are reducing toxins in livestock carcasses, establishing vulture restaurants with drug-free remains, and restoring acacia tree zones for nesting. Satellite tag GPS tracking helps map flight paths, identify hazardous wind corridors or power lines, and reduce collision-related deaths. Copies provide unique cover for two apex predators, leopards and lions. Their multi-layered terrain, narrow crevices, and steep rock faces offer both species multiple options for approach while limiting unnecessary encounters. Leopards use the copy's cracks as a personal network of corridors. Their pale yellow coat marked with dark spots blends with the rock and shrubs, making their movements harder to detect. Their compact body, low shoulders, and long tail for balance allow them to squeeze between rocks. This helps them stay cool and conserve water during peak heat. Their next advantage is vertical leap. Leopards can jump nearly 13 feet straight up, enabling them to cross rock gaps or reach low branches growing along the copy. After a kill, they drag prey into a crevice or tree to avoid losing it to hyenas. Lions use copies to form small groups of 5 to 10 individuals, typically one adult male, several females, and subadult offspring. The higher rocks serve as lookout points for locating Grant's gazelles or wildebeest on the open plains. When prey enters range, the lionesses split and move along the rock's edge, keeping low behind short grass. At the right distance, they charge together, forcing the prey onto uneven ground where escape is harder. This terrain-based tactic shortens the chase and saves energy. However, it also creates a disadvantage when prey moves onto open plains far from the rocks, reducing hunting success. Ecologically, both predators play distinct roles. Leopards control small antelope and large bird populations, protecting young grass around copies. Lions manage medium-sized grazers, preventing overgrazing of the low grass around rock bases. If either predator declines, prey species in their size range can spike, stripping vegetation and disrupting the surrounding water balance. Climate change is extending dry seasons and shrinking grazing areas. Leopards face habitat loss from fires that burn the trees they use to hide food. Lions are forced to expand territory, risking fights with other prides in the few wet areas that remain. To support both hunting strategies, protecting the grass ring around copies and maintaining natural water corridors are essential. Average temperatures in the Serengeti have risen by 1 to 1.5 degrees C over the past 3 decades. The rainy seasons have become unpredictable. Dry seasons are longer. Water holes are shrinking. Grass grows more slowly. The once year-round grazing advantage is fading. Wildebeest herds, the driving force of the Great Migration, have declined by 10% in just a few years. Declining plant biomass also reduces reproductive health in zebras, impalas, and giraffes. A 2024 report recorded that 15% of grasslands and wetlands have undergone severe degradation. If the trend continues, over 20% of grazing land could vanish by 2045. As vegetation thins, predators lose ambush cover and prey lose essential nutrients. The entire ecological loop suffers simultaneously. External pressures are rising as well. Population growth in Tanzania and Kenya is rapid. Farms expand into migration corridors. Elephants and buffalo, lacking food, raid crops for water. In response, people take measures to protect farmland and property. Each conflict erodes trust between humans and wildlife. This creates a negative cycle for conservation efforts. The Serengeti now faces 3 simultaneous fronts: climate disruption, shrinking land, and rising human demand. Its core strength, the ability to self-balance through migration, still remains, but the margin of safety is growing thinner. The system's greatest vulnerability is its dependence on water. One failed rainy season could push the ecosystem into full crisis. Preserving this land is not just about saving wildlife. It is about protecting tourism livelihoods, downstream water supplies, and a global ecological legacy. There is no single solution, but inaction will certainly lead to irreversible loss.